Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 16, Episode 9. See you next Wednesday, which is a very clever, very cute, and very clever title. And also refreshingly relevant, considering that Drag Race kind of airs on well-trodden material.
Sure. And Wednesday only came out 2 years ago.
But it's well-trodden because the See You Next Tuesday. I wonder if kids know that. Like, do young people know that joke?
Well, if they're watching this, they do, because it's also the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Yeah, but they haven't made it that explicit since, like, the first 5 seasons where they have...
cunt.
That word used to be controversial. Yeah. It used to be
it still is, but less.
No, from American culture, it was very...
very
It's very common in Europe, but...
I just read too much smut for it to be shocking anymore.
My mom said that she had a friend who used to call fruit cocktail fruit cunt tail.
I don't like that. I don't know. Something that
she thinks it's great.
It's funny. It's not my favorite.
This is a good episode.
Until the end.
I kind of want to talk about what happened on it, but I honestly don't remember a thing.
It's a design challenge, so they're all just... Oh, are you making a...
Well, I was going to just say I just sort of blacked out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of still waiting for the gag.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still waiting for the Ru to be like, before you go.
Yeah.
The game within a game is starting.
So that's the thing, too, is, like, there's been 0 double saves this season.
And that's one of the things that I like about Drag Race is
it's predictable in its unpredictability.
Well, yeah. I mean, you never know. And the twists and turns are so unpredictable that when you get them, you think, of course. And when you don't get them, you think, fucking of course. Like, I appreciate how it manages to stay fresh for a conceit that could be very...
Sure. Stale.
And go through the motions.
Well, it's sort of like, I saw a TikTok today about Bake Off. That was like, this show is psychological warfare. And it was like, it used to be like, see who's the best at making like standard, British desserts. And now it's like, if you don't have a deep knowledge of like the desserts of feudal 1600s England, then like you can't make it. And I was like, that's totally true. And again, it sort of goes for this too, where it's like, it's such a different caliber of competition now than it was when it started. So it's hard to like, anticipate anything because it's so different every time.
Yeah.
But again, it would get stale if it was like, the episode 1 is...
If there was always a double save, this is going to be this season's double save.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
And
however...
and again, as a little bit in the moment, as annoying as it was when we had that like 5-week stretch where no one went home.
Yeah.
The fact that they did that one time has everybody on their goddamn toes all the time.
Also, though, we have stated that we kind of enjoy moments like that because also the All Winners All Stars was one of the most satisfying seasons of reality television
so the reason
I've ever watched.
The reason why that wore out its welcome so much was because it was also a season with a lot of queens, so it was really dragging it out.
Which I totally understand, because I remember that season, because I think we had done a couple already.
It's chocolate.
And then it was that and everything. But at the same time, it's like, I like being
14,
able...
maybe?
It was 14 or 16, for sure.
Well, this is 16.
Oh, season, you mean? Mm-hmm. I was thinking about how many queens there were. Regardless, I kind of like that because you get to know them better. And this season has been moving at a fucking clip.
Yeah, but the double premiere allowed us to get to know them.
I guess.
We did. You watched 3 episodes in one day.
I did. Yeah.
So, I'm just gonna get into it. Plasma went home.
I disagree.
Still okay. She was in my. Who do you think? And you play along at home. Who do you think actually has a shot at winning?
Q. Plain Jane, Mhi'ya, Dawn.
So you don't think Saphira?
I think Saphira's going to be 5th.
Because
I think Saphira's not going to make it to the finale.
Well, she is such a grand dame, and they are really milking that plot line that I could see her going all the way to to the end and winning in sort of a like, because based on she has a sort of old school drag vibe,
Sure.
and in sort of like a send off or send up and send off to that sort of thing, I could see a more old school, a more, you know, she has a boots on the ground quality.
Sure.
I could really see her, and I mean, she is getting her screen time.
No, for sure.
I know you've had her pegged as Miss Congeniality.
100%. That's what I was going to say. Is I was like, I can see her going all the way to Miss Congeniality. But for me, there's something where like I really like her as a queen, and I want her to have like a Bob the Drag Queen kind of trajectory after this.
I think she's got that regard. Like, I think she's already accomplished that.
But for me, I think especially compared to the four I said, there's something slightly less polished about her drag in which I don't, especially coming on the heels of like the last 4 winners we've had, you can't be coming in with that.
But that's sort of why I think that's what I think gives her, because I don't
think we're coming down the other side of that bell curve yet.
For me, as far as actually winning, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think it's Nymphia. I think that's why they're working so hard to make her seem like she's safe.
I actually, because I've been thinking about it, I kind of disagree because she biffed Snatch Game so hard. There needs to be another performance challenge that she needs to like do really well in.
Yeah.
Or else, there's no way.
And I think that'll happen.
Yeah. But top 4 for sure, I think, for her. She's Nymphia's, but that's the thing, is right now I'm feeling like I do with like usually like award season, where I'm like, I just feel like I have the top 4 locked and loaded. Or I did until tonight, because I also thought Plasma was going to go way longer. And I don't know what they're thinking with Mhi'ya, because I just don't think she has as much to offer as Plasma.
Yeah, I think from where I'm sitting, I think Nymphia sort of has it in the bag. I think her actual competition is Q and Saphira. I think Nymphia, Q, and Saphira are the 3 that I feel like have winner energy. They carry themselves and they present as winners. Sure. I had Dawn and Plasma on a lateral place where I think they would go far. I didn't see any of them winning. Where I'm the most plucked with this Plasma thing is what you were just saying, where it's like, and this is nothing against Mhi'ya.
I like Mhi'ya.
I get who she is and what she does, and I want to like her. I do like her, and I want to see her do well. But I'm sort of like, and what you just said, what are we doing? Pretending that she's holding a candle to what? To
anyone who's remained. Like, because in my opinion, at this point, I don't think she's even competition for Morphine.
No. And I think Morphine is another one that's sort of just like, again, no tea, no shade. This is not...
Well, tea, but no shade.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think Morphine's on borrowed time. And
well, if Morphine's on borrowed time, then Mhi'ya is like a zombie. Like, I don't know what's still happening here.
And so the thing I will give to Plasma, and granted, I mean, it happened very organically if you've been watching me fall in love with her this whole time. Because I liked her the whole time. Yeah. But it was a surprise to me when I realized how much I liked her. I think she's young, and I think for as talented and accomplished as she is, I do think there is a green quality to her.
100%.
In that I was like, she didn't need to win and be arrested at this point in her life.
No, but I think top 6.
Yeah. And so I think, and she handled it so beautifully that if anything, I'm almost more, I'm a little bit sort of like, well, I'm glad we went ahead and dealt with that.
Yeah. So for me, it's the moments like this that make that where you can just tell it's just the whims of RuPaul, because, which again, you know, it's RuPaul's show, do whatever, but like the track records alone, Mhi'ya's been in the bottom. This is her 3rd time lip syncing.
Well, sure, and the track records only matter. They don't matter until they do, or
they do matter until they don't.
And
I'm just annoyed.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there was anything that I wanted to hit from the actual meet, like the actual drama I don't really have much to report with Plain Jane this season. She was, or this episode. She was fine. She was good. I definitely, I think she's softened. I think I've warmed up to her. I think she's softened. She's still in there. I mean, it still is there, but the Saphira, I loved Saphira's moment with Plasma.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that the narrative worked more in her favor.
Agreed.
I didn't hate, and we'll get to the looks because it feels like we're there. Let's do the looks.
Okay. Red carpet.
Runway.
Shit! Now you got me doing it, you bitch!
I thought you were making fun of me.
No, I wasn't. Horrible. I can't believe that just happened.
Also, we're kind of not even secret. We're very out and proud Kaia Gerber stans.
Oh yeah, that was a lot
and
of fun.
she was the guest judge, and she did a good job, and she was personable. Michelle had a bee in her bonnet, but let's do. So it was.
Michelle slept on top of a pea last night somehow.
Well, it was the look was Neo-Goth, and I actually cannot remember because we also were particularly chatty this episode. We talked through a lot of it, so I cannot remember.
I drank a beer. You're welcome. If you'd like to watch along and watch me get progressively tipsier a little.
I can't remember if Ru clarified or specified what Neo-Goth is. Because my understanding, anytime you throw the word neo in front of a word, it just means post. like there's what you think goth is or what traditional goth is, and then there's new goth, and in which case, I don't know, the Crow? Like
that would feel to me more goth.
Sure.
Like OG goth. What is the neo-goth trend? Mix and match elements of classic goth attire with other trending modern styles. Whimsigoth, for example, has gone viral on TikTok.
So in that regard, Plasma, I guess it was the Cher wig. I guess if she had done it. Okay. I did like it. And considering a show.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and considering that it does feel like every season or every so often a season will pick, because again, season 7, I go back to season 7 a lot because I've spent the most time with it and I like it a lot. But remember, they had like 4 acting challenges and none of them were good.
Yeah.
I don't mind these design challenges because we're getting good stuff.
Yeah. This is a design heavy, like a designer heavy season. Like a lot of them can sew. That's just also Mhi'ya did not make her own garment.
You're like, I don't dislike Mhi'ya, but I'm going to.
But
so, okay. So Plain Jane.
Yeah.
I kind of loved this.
I like it a lot, too.
And it is very within her wheelhouse, but of the looks she's worn that are like this is the one I've liked the most.
Yeah. Also, I think
is 2 times better than whatever that latex gas mask thing was.
Yeah, I didn't care for that at all. Additionally, because we saw her in the workroom, we know how much that went into the chaining detail on this,
and the knotting
and the lacing across the front. Maybe it just maybe she should have done that in white, or the shirt in white, or so to offset it, or just a pattern somewhere. Maybe we just it wasn't read well in person, but I was impressed. I loved it, and Michelle was mid.
And her performance.
I love this teardrop is very impressive.
Because she's one of my bigger critiques, other than her demeanor. My biggest critique with Plain is that I don't fully understand who she is from a branding place.
Sure.
And where I think this is still a little, this I can get. This, I'm okay, well, I get this person.
Sure.
And maybe this isn't compatible with whatever the Rapunzel one was, which I also kind of liked. I don't know. It feels like of all the places to critique her or to criticize her, this look was not.
Yeah, agreed.
It.
And
it was it.
The ribbons and the chaining, I think, are impressive enough.
Was it Carson? Someone said that it moved, it flowed, because you run into that, especially when you're dealing with
all one color stuff
and layers or tatters. Sometimes you think it's gonna move like you're Beyonce on a stage, and it just sort of clings to you like you're a wet.
Sure. Yeah. Beyonce's always got that fan. She knows where her fan is. This is fine, but she didn't make it, and I don't like the wig because it covers the lace in the back, and also she didn't get a note about this being a Cher wig, but Plasma did, and this is the same wig.
It does cut her off.
It does.
And like I wish, so first of all, the lace, because the lace was just on the back, I wish it was panels down the side, and so I wish the front and the back were the latex, and I would have put a lace panel in the front.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of like Angelina Jolie from the Maleficent 2.
Sure. Yeah. Or rather, Serena Vanderwoodson from that Thanksgiving episode. No, 100% that. Also, I just like, I don't know. She didn't make it. And she's got such a unique body type that, like, I don't know. I just would have done something different.
The styling of it does not do her any favors.
Exactly. And she didn't make it.
She was cute. Her personality is again, warming up.
I like her,
but it's still not a firecracker.
No, but she was being a bitch in this episode,
and last week too,
and just like really like feeling herself in a way where like it's like, yeah, if Saphira made my dress, I'd feel pretty good about it too.
I know, it gives me the willies too.
This is great.
Yeah,
and they were just
beside themselves,
just bungled
about the illusion,
vexed about how she got that to hang there, and she was like, "It's just fishing line, bozos." Bamboozled is the word.
I followed every single thing you said.
But it is great. I also do like that this is when she brought the ears back, because this is a very like Dawn look. Like
she also her silhouette and her shape. I mean, especially coming off of Mhi'ya, it's like she is very petite, and this is not wearing her.
100%.
She is not swallowed up in this.
Yeah, I did my one
in a way that if you were putting a chandelier around somebody's waist,
or hips even.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did say is I think I could have used also like maybe a color contrast somewhere. I know they were only black, white, and gray, just because it felt a little too busy right around the widest chandelier part.
I almost wish, and this is convoluted, I'm not actually suggesting they did this, but I almost wish each one of them was given a single color that they could use to pop. So it's like, I wish she was given like ruby jewelry.
Sure.
Or something, because that way Nymphia could have had like a yellow diamond.
Oh, sure.
Or something. Like, I almost wish each of them was given one color or one thing to just sort of
pop. Yeah, I agree. This is Dawn,
because the purple, yes, Dawn, sorry.
Oh, the purple eyes, yeah.
So like an amethyst, maybe?
Sure. But she looks great. It's amazing. It's very good.
Stunning.
Okay. Morphine, I fucking love this. Okay, it is by no means the most impressive construction or the most interesting dress.
Yeah, but it's good.
But she has completely bodied this. And for having a similarly interesting body shape to Mhi'ya, this is leagues better at showcasing the body that you have. It's way more flattering. It's very good. I think we should have had way more expression for how she has grown and gotten better with every design challenge. Because that is absolutely true. The way that this mermaid trumpet skirt drapes is immaculate.
Well, and I've been very open with the fact that she hasn't connected with me a lot. And I know who this is.
Yeah.
When she came out on the runway, I was like, Morphine.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
Also, the makeup, stunning.
I mean, well, it has been.
Yeah, but this is like especially. And I love the weird spikes.
I didn't like that.
Oh,
that's the one thing. I think they needed to be more like that's the only part of it that looks DIY for me.
I mean, that's fair.
I think they needed to be the best I can come up with is 3D printed, like a physical element.
Okay.
And not like she's throwing quilt batting into
it. Okay, I see what you mean. But I like the vibe of that.
Yeah.
And like the really angular
because this one, that one and the peplum work so well that this just looks a little bit dinosaur costume.
I see what you mean.
In a way look at that hair. Look at the makeup.
God, though, it's just beautiful.
She also has her face. the structure, the bones, the shape of her face, and especially the way she painted it, this could be, because she actually talked about being non-binary in this episode. And it's like, this could be...
Which that was the first time I clocked it.
Yeah.
So that was like nice information to have.
This could be anyone, anywhere, anytime, man or woman. I mean, you even like ethnically, it's like, is she Asian?
Yeah.
Is she white? Like in a good way.
It's
like
very... there's a nebulousness to it that's very fun.
That also very much suits the prompt in a way that I'm kind of gutted that
she's the Neo-Goth, that
she was in the bottom.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know who else I would have put in the bottom.
There's no one, and that's what I said. I was like, well, the queens are so good, and we are down to the wire in that regard that I guess she would have been.
But man, I mean, I was blown away by that, and the text.
I just wanted her to get her moment.
Yeah.
In a way that.
This did not, and I totally disagree, because also the texture difference between because like the body of the dress is like velvety, and then the rest of it is almost quilted. I'm just obsessed. Quilted, almost leather. I don't know. I was very impressed.
You were blown away by that,
and especially given
you always
her
have
like
one every season. There's one that's like medium to good.
Yeah.
And you're just very, I don't know why that's it. That's it. But that's it for me.
Just everything about it is very pleasing to the eye. And again, it's in conjunction with how she's grown through the design challenges, where I was just like, this is the best one she's done so far. And she constructed her own garment.
Okay. It's not great. I kind of dug it when she came out.
It's less Neo-Goth and it's more Neo-Emo.
Well, they hit the Cher really hard, and you can't wear a wig like that and not risk invoking Cher.
Mhi'ya did.
Well, she risked it. It just didn't.
Yeah.
They weren't going to pile on, I guess.
I mean,
and saying that, the cut, the silhouette, like. It does go a bit more 70s than it goes. It's giving me like Pippin, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's giving me kind of like, because the mimes in the 70s were kind of popular, or that like Tears of a Clown, Velvet Elvis. I don't know where I'm going, but it is the kind of thing that when she came out, I kind of like loved it. And then the more I looked at it, the more I hated it.
Yeah.
But
this is very sloppy.
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 Yeah.
I don't hate the tank top quality of it, but the cut is sloppy. It's also like
I apparently love him in a leotard.
Sure. Well, it's also like it's not cut like on the pattern, which I'm shocked they didn't mention, because that's what makes it look the most sloppy, is that the houndstooth is jaggedy. Like it's not great. It's not great. But again, I have a soft spot for plasma too, and I'm like, this is objectively terrible, but it's not.
it's objectively mediocre.
Sure.
I guess I don't know. I just don't know how you. Again, track record, and it would be one thing if she won once the first episode.
Sure, but she's won twice,
and recently and consistently,
and for the Rusical, which is like hard.
I don't know. I'm gonna call shenanigans.
It's shenanigans for me, for sure. Because I don't think this is objectively worse than Mhi'ya's outfit, and they are wearing the same wig. This was funny.
It was great, and I actually really appreciate how, considering that they were given the same prompt and they could only use black and white fabric, that so much of their looks are so unique. Yeah. It doesn't look like the same look over and over and over again. It's not like
that yellow challenge where 3 of them were taxi cabs.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
So I was going to say the only thing which I said in our watch along, the only thing that I would change about this is I wish the sleeves didn't split here. I wish it split here and was like a cape that left the arms exposed and just like came down here. Like the capes do like nowadays.
And I wish it had.
Nowadays, am I 90? Jesus.
I wish it had like a girdle or a cincher.
You wanted her cinch, like over top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say a belt.
I think it might have cut the pattern.
I understand
in an unpleasing way.
I understand. Yeah. It doesn't need it, but there was. this is giving me a reverse Coco Chanel. I need one more element.
thing. Okay.
And that's not, it's not a challenge. It sounds like it, but you're right. Her performance, her persona.
Good. Just like the Haunted Mansion worker is tired.
And the bouquet, like she doesn't need it, but doesn't she, you know?
It's beautiful. And it's well constructed, and the little cutout in front of the skirt is really sweet. I liked it. And I love because I like the kind of messy
I'm
wig.
there with you with the sleeves. I get it now.
Yeah.
Like,
this is not a bad look,
No.
but I think it would have felt a little bit more upscale, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would have elongated it a little bit more.
Just, I mean, at
Holy
this point,
moly.
Nymphia.
This is so
what
good.
do we say? And the way she's able to do that walk very smoothly.
But look at
Yeah.
This is it for me.
And we finally found out that she did go to fashion school.
This is, and I used this before actually with Q, but this is giving me opera.
Yeah.
Which is a caliber of costume.
Yeah.
Like this is the Addams Family opera.
It looks expensive. This is wild. Just wild. Like so good, so impressive, so good, so beautiful. The like floral, because there's a little bit of the floral on the bodice here, but then the entire inside is lined in that black and white floral. I mean,
and its shape, the way that, because we have it paused right here, but it just. Sorry. Well, I've also been putting the picture. Okay. I started playing the picture again, but the silhouette and the way that the gown actually
because it's not even it's not even a gown. It's like a dressing gown at most, but it's like a cloak almost that just like fastens in the center.
But it's like I could see myself, because I have minimal experience with dresses and clothing and making costumes, and I could see myself planning this.
Yeah. And
having it bunching and being like, why can't I get it to spread out?
Sure.
And it's like the fact that it just catches the wind and it just,
And like when she talked about it, she was like, because you even mentioned it's really fun when you just like accidentally pop off so hard. Because she was like, I was actually kind of shocked with like how well everything turned out.
I really snapped when I did this.
Really good.
And the layers, because she takes off the coat, the dressing gown, and she looks like Frankenfurter from a really rad production of Rocky Horror.
And do you know what I really like is she's done either like skull caps or very limited hair the literal entire time. They haven't given her one note about it because everything's been different.
Yeah. And she's not only doing that.
Yeah.
But the thighs. Fill my bucket with nothing but thighs.
Huge bow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, holy shit. Like, that's just incredible. It's so impressive.
Mm-hmm. Who won?
Q.
Okay.
Q won. They were blown away by this as well.
I had said Nymphia. I think this probably.
I think it's more because Nymphia even was like, no one can drape like I can. And I was like, sure, but like Q sewed an entire ass thing.
Well, and even like the way that they pointed out that she lined it.
Yeah.
And wow. So, it was Plasma versus Mhi'ya. And well, also because Mhi'ya even did the Sasha Velour thing. And I'm just like, I mean, if you're going to be derivative, I don't know. I don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I have actually been not a fan of the Order of Eliminations almost this whole season.
I was gonna say I've been loving this season, but I think I kind of agree with you. Where
like the season is good and the queens are good, and I like the queens, but the way that they are eliminating them does not jive with me.
Mm-hmm. So, that's good. That's good for that. You were really gagged with Rue's makeup, which is saying something.
I mean, it's just so many different colors. You should find a screenshot of it because I told Rachel that she should see it. Yeah.
So I think that's good for now.
Yep.
We're gonna go and then we'll come back.
Bye.
When the time is right.